Really excited to see if teams really start to come to play, Rob, because so far we haven't had those offensive showings that you're used to seeing, that you've seen in years past.
Numbers are down.
Yeah, years past, like week one, you'll have, some guy throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. You're like, oh, wow, a couple of guys have that. We haven't had that, and especially from the folks that you get used to seeing that from. You're used to seeing Pat Mahomes be Pat Mahomes, like Patrick Mahomes doing crazy things. That's not the case this year. Thus far, he has 442 yards in 2 games, which is, okay. 3 touchdowns, Rob, but 3 interceptions. Rating of 90. We'll round up and call it 92. So
you're being nice. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's something ain't quite right.
Well,
Travis Kelce even has come out and said our offense ain't going. He put the blame on himself as he does from time to time. But something ain't quite clicking. But credit them for keep finding wins. But I don't know what's going on. It could just be maybe it's early and they haven't found their rhythm yet.
And here's the other problem. Like, he's still the favorite to win the MVP with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions right out in Vegas, Rob G. And that's where the issue is. He's still living off of reputation because he really hasn't played well for a while now. Now, he played well in the playoffs. They win a Super Bowl. That erases everything, right? That's where people just go, oh, he's great. He's the best quarterback. No ifs, ands, or buts. Last year, his numbers weren't good.
They weren't to his standards, we'll say.
No, for anybody. He had like 16 interceptions last year. This is a guy who said
14. He was 27 touchdowns, 14.
This is a guy, go look at his first few years. 5 interceptions, 4. He wasn't throwing the ball, turning the ball over like he did last year. And I know a lot of people wanted to blame all the receivers, but here we are. And even Michael Lombardi, who we had on the program yesterday, he even brought it up. And this is a guy who put together 3 Super Bowl teams. Yeah. And so he's not just taking a shot at Mahomes. He's asking a real question. Let's hear Michael Lombardi on The Odd Couple from Thursday.
So far this year is his worst quarterback rating by a long shot. And look, he makes great plays, and he's a great player. But now losing Pacheco makes it harder for him. And look, Kelce hasn't done anything. Kelce's under 10 yards a catch. I mean, that's not any good. You can't win with under 10 yards a catch. So they're going through a change. Right now, I think he's really worried about his left tackle position, which we all were. And for Mahomes, he's worried about it. He could move around and make plays. Look, he's a great player. I'm sure he'll get better as the year goes on. But right now, his numbers are well below his standard.
No denying that.
I think that's an honest and refreshing take on Patrick Mahomes. And I say refreshing because so many people are afraid to offer up any criticism of him. It's okay that he's not playing well. He's done a lot in his career already, okay? He won 3 Super Bowls, couple MVPs, right? Your ticket is punched. You're going to the Hall of Fame. I got it. But that doesn't mean we can't take an honest look and say, what happened, Lucy? Why are you playing so poorly? 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. They're 2-0. But easily they could be 0-2.
That's true.
They can be. And it has worked out for them. You talked about the big toe with the Ravens.
Yeah. I think the credit the team as a whole for finding ways to win, and also credit their defense, including last season, for showing up when maybe they weren't in years past, and they had to rely on all that.
They played great last year, their defense.
And I think part of that has something to do with it, Rob, where they don't have to rely on him as much, and they have an opportunity to have a defense, and the defense can stop other teams,
fine,
so they don't have to be in shootouts, all the time.
I agree with that, but his numbers still aren't Patrick Mahomes' numbers.
And to your point, look, last year, if I told you these numbers and didn't put a name to it, you'd be like, all right, that was good. I'll take that. But then if I said these are Patrick Mahomes' numbers, you'd be like, oh, is he all right?
And go back to some of the early numbers when he first broke on the scene.
Yeah, so if you go to when he really became Patrick Mahomes, you're talking 2018, utterly ridiculous. 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions.
Right.
Passer rating of 114. The next year, 4,000, 26 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. 38 touchdowns, only 6 the next year with 4,700 yards. 4,800, 37 touchdowns, 13. Then it gets to probably the last great year, to your point, in 2022, 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, passer rating 105. Then last year, he's down. Now, we cannot ignore the opportunity to throw more yards, throw more touchdowns, and have better games if people had some hands. It was like they had the four of us out there, me, you, Alex, and Rob G out there trying to catch passes. And that matters, Rob, because you got guys.
I'm already going to say that.
Let me tell you why it matters. Because if I throw you a pass and you catch it, and now we get a whole new set of downs, well, dang it, maybe I got a chance to go down and score again.
But he's not the only quarterback who goes through this. They made a big deal.
But those drops were historic.
They made a big deal last year. The Saquon Barkley dropped a big play that wound up costing the Eagles a game. Did he not?
No. Well, that was part of it. The defense cost them the game.
But if he would have caught that ball, that would have sealed the game for the Eagles. All I'm trying to say
don't act like you didn't see what we all saw last year.
No, but I'm not. You're not gonna. There are also situations where they saved him, or Patrick Mahomes threw a pick that was dropped. We had a guy from Football Focus who talked about that they couldn't believe how lucky he was with how many balls were actually thrown to defenders that were dropped. And he had the most intended interceptions that were dropped than anybody else in the league. So people talk about that. People talk about the calls that the Chiefs get. You know, when you have that kind of reputation, you're a great team, you've won some Super Bowls. We used to hear it about the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's why I called Tom Brady the luckiest of all time. Every time somebody would melt down and would set it up for the Patriots to take a game they have no business winning. And we've seen that with the Chiefs. But my only issue is it's okay to say Patrick Mahomes is not playing well. It's okay to point out some of his flaws. Nobody's perfect.
I think he absolutely, something's off. Something isn't quite right. Travis Kelce, first of all, Travis Kelce, we keep forgetting because he's very popular, because we obviously know who's dating. He's got the podcast. He and his brother. He's in a bunch of commercials.
Maybe he's doing too much.
He could either be doing too much or also, bruh, is getting a little old. He's getting old. He's 34, I believe it is now. Him and Gronk are the same age, and Gronk feels like he's 52.
I know. That is pretty.
And he's returned. Gronk has come back, retired, won a championship, retired again, and so we forget.
And now
Travis Kelce is getting older. You don't have a really great wide receiver unit. Pacheco's out right now, so their offense is going to have to get creative and start finding ways to get Pat Mahomes rolling again. But to their credit, having been in the fire for so long now, 5, 6, 7 years of this, they still know how to win. And you better put your foot on their throat, because he's going to find it. If I told you he's got 36 seconds and has to go 90 yards, you'd be like, he's going to do it.
Yeah, but if I told you last year in the AFC Championship game his team would be shut out in the second half, you wouldn't believe that either. And that's what I'm trying to say.
You're right.
That's what I'm trying to say. And they won, and they went to the Super Bowl, but that is not a Patrick Mahomes.
But you know what it reminds me of?
Offense and team, and that's what I'm trying to say, is that we've seen those moments, and you can't all blame everything just on, the guy dropped the ball, or the receivers, if they could catch. There are times that Patrick Mahomes has been lucky that the defenders have dropped the ball, or receivers have made plays on balls that haven't been thrown great either.
So now also we got to put some credit to Pacheco in the running game. They put some more stock in running the ball lately, right? So we're going to run the ball more. We're going to get the ball in the hands of our backs more, whether it be quick passes out or just actually handing it off. So when you start to do that, your numbers will decline a little bit, and I think any quarterback will take those declining numbers if you're saying my running backs are doing their thing, we're scoring more, we're using time of possession. Oh, and by the way, we have the best defense we've had in quite some time. But you know what this is starting to remind me of? It's starting to remind me of remember that towards the end of those Indianapolis Colts years when Peyton had been the only thing going. It was all about the offense, 40-plus touchdowns, all these guys, 3 receivers getting 1,000 yards with Stokely, Wayne, and Marvin Harrison. But we always said, man, if they only had a defense. And then they finally go to the Super Bowl against the Bears because they had Mathis and they had Freeney, and they started to finally have a defense, and they didn't have to rely on their offense quite as much. And this is reminding me of that, where I think as a whole, as a team, they're realizing we have a really good defense. We have a good, obviously, again, with the backs being injured now, but before that, we have a good running game. Maybe we can take some of the pressure off him having to be Superman. Something's off right now a little bit, but if they keep finding ways to win, Rob, at the end of the day, will it matter if he's walking away with his next MVP and another title, and maybe he didn't throw for 5,500 yards, maybe it was only 4,400 yards, but he has another Super Bowl title? So I trust Andy Reid. I trust Patrick Mahomes to fix it. Maybe he won't throw 5,200 yards again, but if they keep doing what they're doing and winning, and not to mention Travis Kelce says, oh, me, I'm about to play better. Whenever he said that, he's done it, including last postseason.
This should be Patrick Mahomes Anonymous. You step up to the microphone, you call us, and just say it. I want you to say it out loud. Patrick Mahomes stinks. Say it. I want to hear it from your mouth. Are you man enough to call up and tell us Patrick Mahomes stinks? And I'll give you ready?
Yeah.
In his last 7 regular season games, he has 9 touchdowns. You heard me? 7. And 8 interceptions. Gardner Minshew. If I told you these stats, that's what you would think it would.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones. If I told you Daniel Jones.
You went too far there. You Gardner, you had me. I was cool with you. I was riding with you. Daniel Jones, you went too far.
If I told you Daniel Jones in the last 7 games had 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, you would buy into it. You'd be like, okay, maybe I needed 2 pick sixes.
Yeah, you got to throw some pick sixes in there to make it. Then I would have said, Daniel Jones. That sounds more like it. That's the Daniel Jones I know.
All right, we want to hear from you.
He's off. I can't even deny it. I'm a huge.
Aren't those numbers ridiculous? That
something is off for sure. Wide receivers not catching the ball doesn't help. Them running the ball more obviously is taking some of the passing away as well. But he isn't quite 18 to 2022 Patrick Mahomes for sure. I don't know if it's all the commercials. I don't know if it's all the quarterback show on Netflix. But something does have to give for my guy Patrick Mahomes. That's my homie. But the math ain't mathing right now. I agree with you on that.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. And I dare you to call up here and say that Patrick Mahomes stinks. Because that's how he's played. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and we gave you the numbers. 9 touchdowns and 8 picks in the last 7 games. That's not Jordan Ness. That's not Patrick Mahomes. That's not the 2-time MVP winner, 3 Super Bowl winner. It's not. Can we face up to it and honestly talk about Patrick Mahomes in real time and based on real numbers?
All right, Rob. We want to see you. I like to, be on the other side of things. We can have a nice little debate. Something is wrong with Pat Mahomes. Patrick, I can't even deny that.
And all I'm saying is we're not talking about his career. Right now, the last 7 games, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean, is he Eli Manning? Like, is that what he's
well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, according to you.
But Eli ain't playing no more. I'm talking about when Eli was playing. Are you man enough to call up and say that Patrick Mahomes right now stinks? 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. 877-99 on Fox. Brandon in Riverside, California. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, B?
I'm good, Rob. Calvin, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, man. What's going on?
Love you. Rob, I don't like the way you just called me out on my manhood. Yes, I can call and tell you that Patrick Mahomes is stinking it up. He really is. He really is. I don't know what's going on. This year he got better receivers than last year. But regardless, he still wins, which is not the problem. We're not, like you said, we're not talking about who he is as a player because we know he's great.
He's great. He's going to the Hall of Fame. I've already said that. I'm talking about right here and right now how he's playing.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Coach Reed, we know he's a great coach, but they got to figure it out because it has not been looking good in the season, which in this case, he gets graded only based off the postseason now anyway. But his regular season play is not great, man. Hey, I love the show.
Thank you, Brandon.
Appreciate it, B. Appreciate it. You know what it is, man? You know what he's doing right now, Rob? What it is? He does just enough at the right time to make you kind of forget. Because the point is valid. He has not been playing well, didn't really play amazingly last season, but he's doing just enough. It's like if you're beefing with your girl all day, you mad all day, y'all having a little you kind of looking at each other, and all of a sudden you come home and I'm about to let her know about herself, and you walk into a hot meal. You kind of go, you know what? Never mind. That's what he does. He makes the right play at the right time, and we all forget that he's kind of been sneaking the joint up.
There you go. A hot meal always works.
There you go.
In Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre? Can you say it?
Yeah, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call. I can't say it. I have to claim omerta on this. I cannot call Patrick Mahomes, and put him out there like that just based on the point that was just made. When the pressure is on.
No, we're talking about the here and now, Andre.
Let that man
Stop.
talk.
This is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. Stop it. This is what we're talking about. Break away from that. We're not talking about years gone by in the Super Bowl and February and all that. We're talking about right here, right now. Why can't you say it?
100%, Rob, okay? But this is not about nostalgia. This is about the fact of the matter on the ground in terms of where the Chiefs are. It goes back to who Patrick Mahomes is and how he structured his career. He took that Tom Brady deal that he was slandered for years ago. But the fact of the matter is the Chiefs have a better overall team, and they're winning in a different way.
He's not playing well. Thank you, Dre, for the call.
Dre, you were talking that talk. We appreciate it, Dre. Don't let Rob, because he yelled at you, feel like you wasn't talking that talk. You were talking that talk, Dre. He just wanted to yell at you.
Dominic in Memphis, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Dominic, I know you're man enough. You could say it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say it. Patrick Mahomes has stunk. He has stunk. You brought up Eli Manning a second ago. I think we dig him off the couch, and he does just about as good a job.
Boy, if you don't hang up Rob G right now,
he could throw 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Because that's what he did his whole career. You're right about that. You want to put him in the Hall of Fame. That's a conversation for another day.
But Dominic, Patrick has been struggling.
He has been struggling. I've watched him. I've watched him in the last couple of games. Like, when's the last time you saw Patrick Mahomes throw a deep bomb? Like a pass over 20, 30 yards. When he is getting completions, he's getting checkdowns, little short routes to Rashee Rice and the running backs, and they're taking it to the house. Like, that's the last time that I saw him throw a deep pass, is maybe a 30-yard touchdown pass.
And Michael Lombardi said the other day, he said he has, what did he say, Rob G, 5 third-down conversions?
Yeah, it's bad.
5 third-down conversions?
Without a doubt. Dominic, thank you for the call. Without a doubt, he's not playing well. This is the thing, though. I do think there is something, Rob, to getting to a point when you realize if I'm only competing for rings, meaning if that's all you're going to judge me by at this point, he shows up when he needs to show up. Did you see what he did last postseason?
We already know about that. We gave him a parade. He still has confetti in his hair. We went through all that.
So until that confetti blows out his hair, I think he might be living up on that a little bit.
Hey, Mike in Oxnard, you're in California. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got quickly?
Hey, Rob, how you doing? Kelvin, how you doing?
So
my whole thing on Patrick Mahomes, he's falling off. I mean, he's getting figured out by teams. We know this. And the postseason runs he's done, I'm sorry. That year against Cincinnati when he had that foul to win the game and got that extra yardage in the AFC Championship game, and then in the Super Bowl it happened with the Eagles too. That's the only reason why they won that, because they got to the first and goal and scored it. If they didn't get those penalties, they never would have won that game.
See, this is what you do. This is what you do, Rob. You open it up to craziness. Boy, I tell you, Rob G, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's what Pat Mahomes did. Okay, yes, he's down a little bit, but now y'all out here acting like he is the villain. Like he's just horrible. This is the compliment to him. This is what happens when you get this high up. Yes, he's had a bad little stretch here. I'll give you that. Even though week 1 wasn't as bad as we acted like it was. But you got to relax, because I know good and well I'll be sitting right here next to you come December and January, and I'm going to ask you every single week, you got that guy over Mahomes, and you're going to pick Mahomes. I guarantee you that.
All I know is we're here and now, and that's what we're talking about.
Sound like a Luther Vandross song. Here and now. That's what you sound like.